Hello everybody, Jet here, and welcome back to my Beastmen campaign. We are just getting ourselves back into a position where we're going to be starting moving soon. We've got a couple of turns of income just to start going with. However, we will be moving on soon. I do believe I can actually get a couple of these guys. I'm just going to get them raiding on the edges here, though I'm not sure I'm going to get much money from this. However, everybody else is waiting on income, so we're not going to push them too far forward on their own. I do want to try and push out some growth on some of these little hordes as well, just to get them, because obviously I want to get all the reductions in their income out as soon as I can, because I am running quite expensive hordes at the moment, and maybe I should have filled them up with cheaper units, but for the time being we'll see how that goes. I can always deal with that later on, and obviously knocking places over is always a good way of giving yourself income, and it's certainly, if I spread them out so we're raiding multiple different regions, that should potentially help. Now we're potentially going to push out on Karak Izor at the moment. I do also want to finish off the rest of the Wood Elf territory which is remaining, and maybe actually go down and poke Estelia. We'll see, we'll work out where I'm going, because they're not too powerful actually, Estelia. So they should be ripe, they're not too big, so they should be ripe for the plundering, and they've certainly been pushing armies down here as well, which means they're not going to have everything around us, and then we'll sort of curve back up and clear the rest of the dwarfs here anyway. However, the dwarfs are quite big and powerful, so I do just need to be a little bit careful of them. So Queek is retaking a few places back there. However, Queek is taking a lot of hits from various places. Obviously I would imagine the Crusaders aren't particularly friendly with Queek either, so I imagine they're going to start expanding into his territory fairly soon as well, as soon as they can. I really want Queek to stay powerful, because the more powerful Queek is, the more a powerful Queek is only going to be good for me. So okay, we've got the various War Herd of Chaos there and the various other Chaos factions. I'm not sure they will actually be at war with me while they are coming in, so I can always potentially try and head north to link up with them as well, as they march down into the world, because I am generally friend who cares. Okay, so the Empire have confederated with Maidenberg, raid in the following region. Okay, we will try and head that way soonish. You can start moving up, as can you. You've got one more turn. I should have left some of these guys recruiting actually. Right. Yeah, no, I should have upped some of these, because upping these also makes your guys cheaper, and I do have a rather large negative to my income at the moment, so that is something I do need to try and work on. And as I said, that could just simply be a matter of I'm going to need to pull out some of the high-end units from some of my lower-end hordes. Some of my lower-end herds, simply so they've got cheaper units, because my higher-end herds obviously get a lot more reduction to their income, or to their upkeep costs. Okay, so where do we want to go first? Obviously Karak Izor is going to be worth hitting early. However, we are being poked, so I do want to deal with that relatively soon. I want to try and keep my guys as together as possible, though we'll have to see how that works with income, certainly dealing with these places. I've got a feeling I'm going to get a few good battles over, or good encounters over the next few turns. Okay, so Krokgar is going back to try and deal with Queek there. I don't know if it's actually Queek here, but whichever lord has that Skaven army. Okay, let's see. We're back onto the Skaven. Let's see what they're doing. Or we will be in a second. And there's an entire other side of the world still doing stuff at this point, guys, so you know, this isn't even half of what's going on that I'm seeing, so. Okay. So Stelia, Tilia are still both there. Oh, Tilia is back. I'm fairly sure I destroyed Tilia at some point, so they've actually come back there. Okay, wow, I don't want to know what the Chaos are doing, because their turns are taking quite a while at the moment. And the greenskins have been finally being completely destroyed. I don't want to hang around here any longer, so I'm actually starting to move this guy. You can move up. You can move up a little bit, then start building. You can hold here for the time being, and actually no, let's where's my other newish army? And you can beast path to get close. He's actually going to be the one hitting there. And these guys are going to sit here. We're not getting too much from raiding here. The next turn you are going to hit that settlement, which should help you out. And then we'll work out exactly where we're looking to go next. Karak Izor is in my sights, because that will potentially get me a big chunk of income from knocking it over. However, it's not going to be an easy place to take, and you can see the dwarves are already marshalling forces around me, so I need to be careful, because I'm fairly sure they and their vampire allies can marshal quite a few armies around here, which would be difficult if I get hit by too many armies at once. Okay, they've gone still time, and they are running away! And I think the elves and the dwarves might even be at war here, so that's not necessarily a bad thing for me. It's just a shame I'm at war with pretty much everybody around me, other than Bretonia, because that was a, you know, I'm lacking places to retreat to at the moment. I do need to try and take on and destroy the dwarves, so maybe I should have tried to go for them earlier on, but at the moment, you know, I've been put into I've just been, as you saw early game, I just got pushed around the place. I didn't really have much control over where I was going, so. Plus, I dread to think who else the Dwarfs have confederated. They could potentially have confederated with people on the far side of the world, which will make finishing more very hard if that is the case. However, obviously, as they get bigger, you know, as I do manage to expand, I'm going to start pushing out more and more hordes, and while I'll do that, they'll have to be raiding more. It will mean I can really start pressuring throughout the world more if needs be. But we'll see how this goes. You know, every possibility they might just marshal everything and catch me, because that's what I'd do as a player if I started causing too much difficulties. Okay, we've discovered an ambusher. You can go and attack here. It's a very nice easy auto. And you can take the growth for your horde. It's also upped your ups your bestial rage. That's the one I was after. Nicely. Okay, so you can get your gore tusks now, as we're going to be fighting lots of orcs. Why? I just took somewhere. Okay, we're going to have them bashing against each other, which will cause us to lose a few people, but unfortunately we need to, because even though they smashed that place, it wasn't good for their bestial rage. Which is a little odd. I do have some negatives to my bestial rage at the moment, unfortunately. Right, let's do a cheeky little save. I am going to try and ambush him. Yeek. You can switch to ambush stance and go straight at him. Did I get an ambush off? It does also stop my reinforcements though. So we have a nice big battle on our hands here, guys, potentially. I don't think I got the ambush off. If I got the ambush off, this is going to be beautiful. If I didn't, it's going to be a hard fight. No, so I didn't get the ambush off, unfortunately. Oh, and they've got a really nice defensive line. No, if I'd got the ambush off there, this would have just been a slaughter. As it is, this is potentially actually going to be a hard fight, because I'm going to have to try and... I'm going to have to use high impact units to try and break their lines here, and we only have 2 of our hordes here backing us up, so we'll deal with it. It's not the end of the world. We can still deal with this. We should win this battle, but it's going to be a hard fight against Foreign Grudge Bearer, but we should be able to deal with it, and then we'll move up on Karak Izor. We just, once again, might need a couple of turns to regen afterwards. That's the thing I find very hard with the Beastmen, actually, is every time I go through a few fights, it actually takes me quite a while to recoup. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but it just seems to stall my campaign fairly regularly. If it wasn't for that, I mean, I guess if it wasn't for that, I'd just constantly keep smashing the world, so, you know. Nice amount of magic to start with, I'll take that. Okay, you guys can actually be deployed forwards. So you can be deployed forwards to start shooting straight away. We are not going to be subtle, we are going to... Let's have a look. I'm going to send my high mass stuff down one side, and I'm just going to engage and pin the other side while all of my high mass guys clear through the other side. Oops. And obviously I am going to be having another entire faction coming down as well, an army coming in, but so are they, so I do need to be careful here. Right, that's perfect. You guys can all start moving forwards this way. Oops, not you, not you, not you. You guys can just take a step forwards to get in missile range. All of these guys can just be thrown down here to start with, just get them moving straight into the right places. Okay, this is good. Right, you guys can now charge all of that unit. Let's push and engage. Let's get a charge going on in the middle. Let's try and pull a couple around the sides. Okay, let's pause and rejig everybody else coming in now. So obviously we've got a lot of new units. You guys can actually, some of you guys can move and support here, but my heavy units are going to go around here once again. So in fact you guys can all push this way. Let's pull the other unit of archers up to next to these guys to help. Let's move all my archers into one big stack. You guys can all move in here. And you can just all be chucked over here as well with these guys, just to make things easier. A couple of these guys can actually go down to help this one. And you guys can just try and pull through the side here at these guys. Where it gets a little confusing occasionally. Okay, and you can whack that straight down on there. Oh, you're still stood far too far back. Okay. Let's try and get my Centaurs behind. My giant can hammer into some of these units. That's great, we're smashing through that unit, which is what I wanted. These guys can go straight for their rangers in the back. You can fold in. You guys can hammer straight in here. And here we go, we can watch our chariots smash through these guys. That's good. And here we go, we are cracking their front line there. Their front line here is gone. Right, let's start getting Centaurs through to hit their archers. And let's actually bring some archers over to hit their bloody flying machines. Oh, let's spawn an extra Cygor. Pop out a debuff. You guys can keep pushing on here. You guys can just fold in now. And you guys can all start pushing. Let's just get the archers moving forwards and shooting. Oh, let's get my Gorbel on grudge. On grudgy there. Now this is where some of these spells start getting nice, because these are very good against. This spell has got is good versus armoured units as well. You guys can all slam into the side now. You guys can start chasing, actually, some of you, and you can head up here. We've got this now. We have pushed through nicely. The worst thing here is their lord, who is beginning to break. Buff everybody in my area, and you can actually go start getting involved now. My giant is is slowly wandering over and in. Right, archers, you're dealing with these flying machines now. Right, let's get my Gorbel, some of my units out after these, and these chariots. We've just wounded their lord. And you guys can just keep pushing now. Giants just slowly pondered across the battlefield, and we've got the mass rout happening now. So we have got these guys. So that was a nice, easy victory, actually, considering what it told me the odds were. I am very happy with that victory. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to double tap them this time. However, that's taken out most of their garrison as well, a large proportion of the garrison as well. So that's really good for me pushing on against the against them. So I lost. Wow, I lost nearly 300. Their over 1,000. So actually, I'm very happy with that. But that again, it was because I managed to smash through one side. If they'd countered me properly, if they'd been able to counter me properly, I would not have done that. I would not have done as well there. If they'd managed to counter my large units and pin me down, I would have suffered. Against a player, that would have been a dangerous battle. But then again, they've got such a weird shaped force here that there wasn't really a huge amount they could really do to stop me. Now, I'm not saying it was easy. Some of my units certainly took the brunt of the, took quite a brunt of the attack. But that's the point of these guys, is to take the brunt of the attack. My Gors and my Bestie Gors. My Bestie Gors are heavily armoured. That's why I used them there, because it pinned everything down while my heavies were coming around the sides and managing to get into the back of them. Wow, my Centaurs here got 100 kills, so that's very good. Also, the nice thing is some of these guys are getting very veteran at the moment as well, which is nice. And this army also now has buffs to its attack and armour, so its weapon strength and armour as well, which really does help me against things like this. Again, I'm a bit confused by the dwarf army makeup there isn't great, which is probably what helped me more than anything else. An auto-resolve there, while I'd have won, it would have been horrible, so we did much better by fighting that. We are going to take the replenishment. Try and keep everybody relatively central. Trying to just keep everybody in one nice tight pile there, because that really does help me if I do get attacked again. It means I'll have everybody there to help defend. Okay, where are we going with you now? It's up for training. You can grab evasion. That's good. That's only basic units, which I'm not using so much. I'm going to take the vigor reduction, the less vigor reduction there for the time being. I want to pop up into the second half. As you can see, I don't really have many Ungor units anymore. I'm mostly onto Gors and Bestie Gors, so that's not really going to benefit me. But if I can get into that second half there, that will I'll be able to get myself into some really good positions. Oh, this is interesting now. Do I actually want to fight this? This is the question. I'm going to fight. It's 50-50. That is a far better set up army I'm fighting against. However, we have intercepted them, so this is the interesting thing, because they don't actually come and attack me. I would have assumed in an interception battle they would have been forced to attack you to get past you, but that isn't actually how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the same sort of tactic. I'm just going to try and get my heavy units around their sides, while my Bestie Gors and my Gors maintain the front line. This map has a great big dip in the centre, so I want to not be fighting downhill if I can help it. We shall see what happens. Ideally, I want to get into a good position. The units I'm really scared about here are the Troll Hammers. These are great weapon Longbeards, which will have a bit more anti-large, so that is something I need to be aware of. In fact, they've got a lot of great weapon things here. Right. So you guys can go to each side, you can sit back, Giant can sit over here. Lord in the middle. These guys are not going to move, so let's double time. So, Great Axe Infantry. So actually a lot of these guys are armour piercing, which isn't too bad for me because I don't necessarily rely on it. However, their artillery has a long range, so I do want to get myself, and the thing is getting down to this hole hides me. Okay, we're going to start sneaking up. You can see they're scouting us now. Now Malagor can also spawn a Centaur, which is something I want to remember as I come up over the top. Right. Now we can see how they're moving. Now we want to get ourselves up top. Now's the time to spawn this Cygor. Let's increase my recharge rate and he will start throwing things instantly. You guys can start moving up here, as can you. Right, now is the charge. Now is when I want to really push it. And now we charge. Where is Malagor? Okay, let's throw out the buff and push forwards. Let's whack this wind spell along here. This will wreck some of these units quite nicely. Let's get our second Centaur out. There you go, we're driving some of them off now. Let's start hammering right into their centre. One of you guys can hit these iron drakes. They're taking a lot of damage there, but that's not a huge issue. You can just charge in now, as can you actually. Let's hammer them. Right, you can hammer into the side of these guys, you can hammer in behind. And we have a mass rout already, guys. So that was easy. We didn't take too many losses. We just broke their line. We got around them and we broke their line. If they were sensible, they'd have pushed forwards and fought me on that slope. And again, they let me get behind with my high impact units. You know, these guys are all very high impact, and if they start getting behind, I mean, the Centaurs not so much, but my Minotaurs and my Razorgors and my Giant, if they get around behind these guys, they shred them. But some of my Bestigors even there, just holding the front line, getting 90 odd kills each. I mean, they're my more veteran ones. That's devastating. And the Dwarfs shouldn't, to be fair, shouldn't be taking as much damage as they are from them. And while my archers are barely doing anything these days, so I'm half tempted to start dropping more of them out. However, I always like having archers just to use. I generally use them as counter archer, but take a bit of. We'll do some more eating of these guys, and that has smashed that army. Because I don't think if we get an interception, I think you are done if you lose. So next turn it is Karak Izor, which has been hit heavily now, so we should be able to really put the pressure on Karak Izor and burn it to the ground. And we are still being chased around by wood elves, who are pretty much done now. In fact, I can't see, is this still a wood elf? I think this is their last territory, so I don't think the wood elves are actually going to be lasting much longer here. Anyway guys, we will be getting ourselves all nicely set up for Karak Izor, and we will then be ending this session because we are at the 30 minutes mark. Now that other one I will be trying to get both of those out today, but I've got a few bits and pieces to do on my other campaigns as well today, because I want to start really pushing through some of those. Certainly my Lizardmen campaign I want to try and get finished so I can start on something else. Certainly I know I've been asked for a few other factions to do, a couple of orc factions, guys, but if you do have any particular requests, please feel free to pop it in the comments and I'll have a look what I can do. Okay, so Telia are pushing up towards us, so I need to get that little herd out of there now, because he's a little surrounded there, but that's not too difficult for me to do. However, I don't want to stop pressuring Karak Izor now, because if I pull back, the dwarves will, you can see they've got more armies over here, and they will pop more armies in there, which is potentially going to be a bad thing. Okay. So we've actually got a Bray herd as well now, which is very good. Right. And an ambush. I'm not going to fight it because it's too easy. Right, you can actually, my new herd can lead the attack, and we're going to move everybody else up. This is ensuring we get the most damage here, and this is going to be a nice, easy battle with everybody here. So that's an auto, which when you consider that this is one of the biggest dwarf settlements at the moment, that is really good. You can beast path out of there. And with that, guys, we are going to end here. I've not worked out where I'm going to go next. I'm probably just going to beast path over here and start harassing the dwarfs more here, clearing out some things, and we might even go around and clear Astelia, because they probably have quite a nice chunk of income. So I'm all with everybody now, pretty much. So I've got lots of choices. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you've been enjoying it. As I did mention, guys, please start popping requests for future campaigns in the bottom. That does include other Total War games. I am going to be playing some other strategy games as well, like Stellaris, but if there's any particular ones you'd like to see, you can always pop that in the chat. I will definitely be playing some Stellaris because it's a game I particularly enjoy. Also, I will probably be playing the new Total War update, if you've seen about that, when that comes out. That is a update to Rome 2, so I will probably be doing at least one campaign on that when that comes out. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching and thank you for your time.